All right, let's get into the next part. John,
Yes.
basketball is happening.
We do a little ball in the hoop.
We do a little round object in the round hole, and we're talking the professional version of it. I'm not talking no college.
Ain't no college.
We ain't do no college
Ain't
now.
no St. Mary
Bullshit.
Magdalene
Not undefeated. Not undefeated. Sorry.
No, that's St. Mary Magdalene.
6-1.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No, we doing NBA only. We're gonna do some college next week. Just keep it.
We gotta keep on our toes.
Got to keep on our toes. Just letting you know it's coming. But NBA, I have 2 questions for you, John.
Yes.
Current standings.
Look, I'm looking at it.
They're looking good, right? You're seeing what I'm seeing.
They could look
Celtics still winning. Nuggets still winning,
better.
right?
Yes.
Nothing's changed. The 1 through 5, all the same. Nobody's dropped out. The 6 spots have changed, I think, in each division. But outside of that, 1 through 5 still pretty same, right?
Yes.
Now, the question I want to talk to you about here. Last 10 games. Celtics 8-2. Sixers 8-2.
Yeah.
Then you go Nuggets 9-1. Grizzlies 7-3.
Kings 7-3.
Kings 7-3. Those are the 3 best 10-game stretches we have of people that are playing valuable basketball right now.
Yeah.
Okay. That are in the top of their divisions, top 3 in their divisions, and top 1 or 2 in their divisions, right? If we look at these games right now, and we're looking at how, not necessarily, I don't want to say they're important or not, because it is still the middle.
What was that?
Almost broke the table. Still important, still middle of the season. We're still figuring these things out. People getting injured, people are getting healthy again. Games are being played, come down to the wire, shit like that. Out of these 5 teams that are 8-2 in their last 10, 7-3 in their last 10, Celtics, Sixers, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Sacramento, who is playing the best basketball right now?
Right now, I'm gonna have to go Nuggets. I think. I'm just looking at them. They're number 1 in the West.
Mm-hmm.
They're on a 9-1 streak compared to everyone.
They're
else.
arguably number 1 in the league. Celtics have played 1 more game than them.
Yeah.
So, you could maybe argue that they're number 1 in the league closely. Like
they're
one adjacent. If they win a night, because I don't think the Celtics play a night. If they win a night, which they're playing right now, they would then take number 1 in the league, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at them. They have one of the best home records at 22-4.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Stupid, actually. Some would say.
Little more stupid. Yeah, stupid. I feel like they're a little more even on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at 12-10, not the best.
Concern.
A little bit of a concern, but I mean they're 22-4 at home. They're 25-10 in the Western Conference, so they're beating the teams around them, and I think that's kind of more valuable than the Celtics a little bit. They're kind of the Celtics are 20-10 in conference. Looking at 25-10.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Nuggets. I think they have a better shot at being the 1 seed than the
Celtics do.
The Nuggets do than the Celtics.
Right. Now, see, I was going to say give me the Nugs as well, but sneaky team here that I'm going to take over. Nuggets just got their 9-game win streak broken, or 8-game win streak broken. So they were obviously the hottest team in the NBA, arguably, right? I'm looking at the Grizz 3-game losing streak. Not the worst thing in the world. They're going to bounce back, obviously. Look at the Kings, 7-3 in their last 10. Quality team. Just beat the Grizzlies broke their 15-game or 14-game win streak, whatever it was. Look at the Celtics, 8-2, 2-game losing streak. Should have won last night against the Heat, but they turned the ball over 17 times. You kind of see that there's coming a formula. I feel like I'm trying to figure out. But the sneaky team that I'm going to take is the Sixers here. They're on a 5-game win streak.
Okay.
They just moved into second place, standing alone, and they're playing the Nets right now, currently. The Sixers, to me, are putting together a really good stretch here, especially if they keep winning at the clip that they're winning. Now, Sixers have one of the better home records in the East at 17-7. Celtics 18-5, nothing too crazy. 13-9 on the road, obviously some parity there, not that big a deal. And 17-10 in conference, which is, I don't want to say it's concerning. It just, to me, depends on who you play. If they've played the Celtics 4 times already, you know what I mean? Like, that can be, it just depends on where your schedule ranks at that point.
Yeah.
But the thing that I have about them is that they're finding a way to win currently right now, and they're playing really good ball as of late. And I don't know if that's because everybody's healthy on their team. They're getting the groove going. Joel Embiid's getting back into it, figuring it out, dropping buckets still. James Harden's producing, and Tyrese Maxey's still coming into his own. You can see that dude's a young stud of a I guess you count him as a shooting guard. A shooting guard. So I'm going to take the Sixers for that reason. They're the hotter team out of all of those top 5 here. And I think personally, if there's a 7-game series being played right now, I think the Sixers would be a hard team to beat if you're the Celtics. They've got size, they've got length, and they've got speed, and they have the ability to score the ball really, really well. Now, obviously, the Celtics have a very good defensive team, but I think that maybe this script is kind of potentially coming out on them a little bit.
Yeah.
And the Sixers, good defensive team.
They're a good defensive team. I think the Sixers are, that's a solid pick. They're playing a lot better recently. 5-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
Sixers are rolling, and which is crucial for them right now because they kind of separated themselves a little bit from that kind of like little.
Because they were the 5 seed, I believe,
were,
last time we talked. 4 or 5 seeds. So they've obviously moved up to second place. That's home court advantage up until potentially the conference finals.
Yeah. So that's huge for them. Celtics have been a big mover since our last recording. So I think Sixers is a good pick.
Yeah, and I like your Nuggets pick too as well because if you win and they continue to win at the way that they are, they lock up that 1 seed. That road record doesn't matter as much anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you're 22-4, you get home games. You get 4 every round until, if they get the number 1 overall, then they'd have home court advantage in the finals as well. But at least until the NBA finals, guaranteed home court advantage. And clearly, there's some magic sauce in that Denver air or Denver air water, whatever you want to do.
They're kind of high up there.
They're up there.
Yeah.
High up there?
Yeah, they're high. They're high.
They're high.
You could say they're high.
You could say they're high. Now, proposing a second question.
Yes.
So let's go into that middle of the pack, 6 through let's go 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Eastern Conference Heat 7-3 last 10. Hawks 6-4. Bulls 6-4. Okay. Then you look at the West. You go Mavs 3-7. Suns 5-5. And then you got Utah Jazz 6-4. Okay. Reason I bring those 3 teams up from each conference. Let's start with the East.
Yeah.
Heat 7-3, Bulls 6-4, and Hawks 6-4. I think you could argue these 3 teams right here are significantly underplaying the way that they should have, that were projected before the season started, and that they should have been playing. Bulls were a 4 seed last year, 5 seed last year, and they ended up losing the Bucks round 1. Bucks are obviously a very good team, but they got swept. A gentleman's sweep, 4-1, right?
Gentleman's sweep, yeah.
Gentleman's sweep. You got the Hawks, who went out, got beat by the Heat. Gentleman's sweep again, 4-1. Should have realistically been a true sweep. Not just because I'm a Heat fan and I'm talking out my ass or anything, but Trey hit like a last couple rank drainings, couple seconds layup or floater, put him ahead. And then the Heat, 1 seed last year. Made it to Eastern Conference Finals, 1 shot away potentially going to the NBA Finals and playing the Warriors, lost to the Celtics in 7.
Yeah.
You look at that. To me, those are the 3 criminally underplaying teams this year. Outside of that, maybe the Raptors flourish in that area as well. But the Hawks added DeJounte Murray. The Bulls didn't lose really anybody. Yeah. And the Heat lost PJ Tucker. That's about it. And he's very valuable loss. Out of those 3 teams right now, who would you say is the team that's underperforming the most? Because all playoff teams last year. Yeah. One seed, 8 seed playing game that snuck in there because they're playing hot of late. And the Hawks last year, in my opinion, weren't that good. They weren't good enough to necessarily make the playing tournament, in my opinion, but they still made it and they won. They were graded. They were like, I think, a 9 seed, 10 seed last year. Ended up making the playing game and then beat the Cavs, right?
I know the Cavs lost to the Nets.
And then they lost it first. Then they lost to the Hawks because the Hawks played. Because I wanted the Cavs to play in the first round so I could go to an NBA, so I could go to a playoff game.
You still did. But
I still did, but I wanted much closer.
Yeah.
So, playoff team. All 3 of them are playoff teams. And right now, if the season ended today, still technically would all be playoff teams. But the Hawks and Bulls would still be in the playing game and not guaranteed potentially making the playoffs here.
Yes. To answer your question, I think I'm going to go Hawks here. For two reasons. I think the Heat are starting to play better,
Mhm.
and I don't think we really have to worry about the Heat in this conversation of underperforming. I think they'll end up being where they end up being. The Bulls, however, I think they can kind of play. They can play the injury bug a little bit. I
Mhm.
think they've kind of had a lot of guys out,
Missing consistently.
missing consistently. Haven't really had the full team there for a while, and the Bulls have shown signs of being good at times.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go with the Hawks here because I don't really know what their excuse is.
Yeah, they
Uh,
got a better. They got one of the best shooting guards in the league.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't understand what their excuse is. Why they're kind of not up with everyone else. I think they're kind of as equal as the Heat and the Cavs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna to answer your question. I'm gonna say Hawks.
I like the Hawks pick. They still have some injury. They've had some injury bugs. Let's not get twisted. And they
Yeah.
lost Gallinari, which I don't think is the biggest loss in the world, but they did lose somebody there. I'm actually going to go in the reverse of you, and I'm going to go Bulls here.
Bulls, okay.
I think you're right with the Heat. The Heat are playing well as of late, and I think they're going to figure it out come trade deadline, which is coming up, and we'll talk about that later. Probably next week more than this week.
Okay.
Bulls, in my opinion, you were a 5 seed last year. You had an MVP candidate, DeMar DeRozan, arguably on your team, was getting MVP votes. And you just blew a 23 or 22 point lead to the Pacers, and the Pacers came back and beat you. I mean, I just feel like they don't have that fight that they had last year, where I felt like it was not like a woe is me or like we're the underdogs. I felt like it was more of a, hey, we're a good team. We have a lot of different people. We have a resurgence of DeMar, and we're going to be playing hard-nosed basketball, and we're going to be balling on these fools. And I felt like they've kind of lost that dog mentality. I know it's kind of like a cheesy thing to say, but that's the way I feel, and that's how I feel about it, is that I feel like the Bulls are just playing significantly under the way that they should. To go from a 4 seed last year, 5 seed last year, to fighting for just staying in the playing game is, with that much talent on your team, is kind of remarkable for me.
Yeah, I mean 3 games under 500, only a game out of the Wizards. The Wizards are 1 game out from them. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
And you know,
And don't get it wrong, Raptors, you're right there, Bob. You're
Yeah.
right there on the pathetic scale here.
If Raptors was in the question, I think I would say Raptors.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the Raptors could come back and surpass the Bulls and the Wizards, but I mean, it's just pathetic on both of their parts.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But let's move to the West. Same kind of concept here.
Okay.
I said Mavericks,
You said Mavericks.
said Jazz,
You said Jazz.
and who's my third team?
You said the Suns.
Yes, Suns. Jeez, I had a stroke there. So these 3 right now, all fighting for close battles here. The thing that I think is interesting out of all these 3, 2 to me are the same. 1 is the outlier. The Mavs and the Suns went into this offseason. Suns 2 seed last year or 3 seed last year. Very good at the round ball.
Yeah.
Mavericks went out and got potentially more help in Christian Wood from who did Christian Wood come from? Did he come from the Rockets? I think he came from the Rockets.
That sounds right.
Got some help for Luka, trying to surround him with some more playmakers. And then you look at the Jazz, who sold literally everybody and their mother to tank, right? The thing that I think is interesting with these 3 teams alone is the Suns and the Mavericks were legit, hey, these guys could go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Last year, Dallas and Suns played each other in a 7-game series. Mavs beat the shit out of them in Game 7, like was up by like 40 at one point.
Right.
So Mavs go to Western Conference Final, put up a good fight against the Warriors, but Luka couldn't do everything himself. They go out, get some help, and it's not producing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Suns, injury bug, Devin Booker's been out, but they still haven't looked like that same mentality. They haven't looked like that same fight of having the best record in the NBA last year, or second best record in the NBA last year, like they have this year. Significant drop off, 1 game above 500.
Yeah.
And then you have the Jazz who are like, we're literally built to lose, like try and lose these games, but they keep winning, and now they're in a playoff game. And I'm not saying that they were necessarily tanking for the French guy, Wembeao. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sorry, bud. I appreciate you still.
Yeah.
I felt like they're tanking to try and get this kid, and right now they're an 8 seed, and they're in the playing tournament, and they're playing good basketball of late.
Yeah.
I just feel like 2 of these teams should be in a much better spot. Now, obviously, the Sacramento Kings kind of surprising a little bit of everybody here.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe the Pelicans are a little bit of a surprise because they were an 8 seed last year, put up a good fight against the Suns, ended up losing.
Yeah.
But you had to figure the Suns and the Mavs would be higher than what they are right now.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, Mavs are 3-7 in the last 10, like not like on a skid.
Yeah, I mean that's just bad. But I mean the Mavericks. I mean you got one of the best players in the world on your team too. That's what makes
MVP.
us
He's
sad.
going to get some MVP votes this year, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think the Suns are pretty pathetic too, because at least the Mavs, like, it's the Luka show.
Yeah.
You know, outside of Luka, they really don't have much. The Suns, like, what the hell happened?
You re-signed to Ayton.
Yeah.
You paid him a max contract because the Pacers were going to get him. Then the Suns matched it, gave him a max contract for like the rookie deal, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Basically matched the offer, brought him back to Phoenix. Like, you clearly bought into Ayton, and he's not doing what you wanted him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Bridges, still the Iron Man. I don't think he's missed a game yet still, and like his whole college career and NBA career. It's fucking incredible. Devin Booker, I know, has been injured, and he's your best player. But like, they still have enough talent on that team and depth on that team to where they should be winning games, and now they're one game above 500. They're fighting for their damn lives.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean both teams have just been pathetic, and the Suns, I just don't understand.
I don't either. And the Utah Jazz keep winning. I love it personally.
I do too.
If I'm a Jazz fan, I'm probably upset. I know we have like 36 first round draft picks, so I'm not like that upset. But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, we're built to tank. I hope that the Jazz, I think the Jazz will actually sell at the trade deadline, get rid of Kelly Olynyk, maybe a few other pieces here to shore up losing more.
Fuck Kelly.
Or if you can get more draft stock back too, that also helps as well.
Yeah.
But those are the kind of the ways I was looking at it here. And just some other NBA shit that's going on. Trade deadlines coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about that, like I said, next week. Some people that we want to see get. Cavs, obviously, could trade some people away.
They could.
Could just acquire people via draft picks, which they have none. So it's going to have to be trading away more than anything because they spent a lot on Donovan, who's played very well for him this year.
Yeah, I think it's been worth it.
It's definitely been worth it. And you can look at also some of these other teams that are going to be looking to buy. I don't know what the Kings really have to offer to buy. I don't know if they're they just extended their GM, new contract, everything through like 27. I don't know if they're going to be looking to buy to like, hey, we can really win something this year, or if they're more on a, let's just ride this wave of what we got right now and then we can build for something next year.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the case there potentially, but look for the Raptors, look for the Wizards, and look for the Trailblazers to offload some people, maybe the Spurs as well, to offload some people here in this trade deadline. It'll be a fun one, and look for some fireworks to come. But one of the more bigger news is that's happening in the NBA this week. Not this week, but just in general, is LeBron James is like 170 some odd points away from passing Kareem on the all-time scoring list, even though he technically passed him last year on. I think it's weird that you count regular season and postseason points as separate.
Oh.
But LeBron passed Kareem last year in total points. But LeBron's like 170 points away from a record that was deemed unbreakable by a lot of people for a very long time. I mean, the real question I have proposed to you is we look at the MVP odds right now, which I'll actually pull those up just for have them. NBA MVP odds. Let's go ahead and look it up. Bet365. Why not? Nope, we'll go here. Jokic has got to be the front runner. He's leading every statistical category, advanced statistical category there is. He could three-peat, but you look at this. You got Jokic 1, Doncic 2, like we mentioned, Embiid 3, Jason Tatum 4, Giannis 5. That's your top 5.
Okay.
And then you go about 5 to 6 more spots, and then bam, LeBron James all the way at the bottom. To me, LeBron, I know that they're not winning, and the thing that's crazy is out of those top 5 teams, all of them are top 4 in their conference except Luka.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to hurt him. But how important do you think wins for a team should actually factor into most valuable?
I think it kind of matters. I know the argument is like how valuable you are to your team, but in reality, it's who's the most exciting award. Mm-hmm. And I think being on a good team, being on a team that wins, getting your team, being plays. Clutch, I think that matters. So I think Luka might be a little too high.
Yeah, I think Luka. Like you said though, it's all about making the big shots. It's about making the big plays and being valuable to your team. if the Nuggets don't have Jokic, do I think they're a 1 seed? No. Do I think they're probably a top 5 to 6 seed? Yes.
Yeah.
If the Mavs don't have Luka, I think they're like a 13 to 12 to 10 seed. Like
They might be the last team in the West.
they're not that bad, but
Yeah,
like
they're
yeah,
not that
but you
bad.
get what I'm
Yeah.
we get what we're saying here. Jason Tatum not on the Celtics. Celtics still a good team.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid on the Sixers. Obviously, you're losing a very big piece there, but you still have Maxey, you still have Halliburton, you still have Harris, you still have Harden.
Yeah.
Still a good team. A lot of young people, a lot of people around you that can still play very well. But I mean, I'm only going to make the case for LeBron is he's averaging 30 points this year, right now. He's averaging more assists than he's averaged in the season. He's averaging, I think, 8 and some change, and then like 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
So the year he won his first MVP, which I believe was 2010, he averaged, it was 27, I think, 7 and 7 essentially, or 28 and 7 and 7. So he's averaging more points, more rebounds, and more assists, or the same amount of rebounds and more assists than he did his first MVP ever. And he's doing it in year 28. I feel like that's got to be, not year 28, year 20, 38 years old. I feel like that's got to deserve some MVP respect here. Better than 11th.
Maybe.
Like, he's playing better than Steph Curry. He's playing better than Donovan Mitchell, without a doubt. And he's playing better than Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you can't really look at that, at least year to year. I think it's kind of more, what is it this year?
What's going on right now?
What's going on this year? Now, I think you can argue he should be a little higher than 11th, but this is also Vegas. They know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They put the odds there for a reason. But yeah, I think LeBron deserves a little bit more respect. Maybe in that 6 or 7 range.
Yeah, I just think it's one of those things where it's like the Lakers. If LeBron wasn't on the Lakers would obviously be like the last team in the West. Like definitely bottom 3.
Yeah.
If they're not already right now, let me double check.
I think
that.
they
they're bottom 3.
Yeah.
Right now they're only 2 games back from the playing game, so it's not like they're completely out of it.
Yeah.
But if the Lakers sneak to a 6 to 5 seed, which they're only 3 games back from the 6 seed, it's not like it's not doable.
Yeah.
If they sneak to a 6 seed or a 5 seed here, do we see LeBron become the MVP favorite there?
No. I think.
How high do you think he needs to be in the standings before he's a legit chance for him to win the MVP?
I think.
Like 4? Like a 4 seed?
3 or 4.
Okay.
Just because I think the rest have kind of separated themselves so much to where this would be such a late push on his part.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's almost impossible. But I would say if he does get up to 3 or 4, I think you do have to take a serious look at LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, what do you think?
I think the MVP award itself is stupid. It's the most points. Whoever has the most points per game wins the award. It's stupid.
Yeah, well, LeBron would be that MVP this year then.
No, LeBron doesn't have the highest points per game right now. I think it's Luka. Or maybe Jokic. He's not the highest.
Let me pull up my friend's stat muse.
Let's
do a little stat
little
muse.
stat.
I love stat muse. That's not how you spell stat.
No free ads.
No,
And if he is, it's within he got it within the last like 2 or 3 days.
well, yeah, he just had 40 points yesterday.
He did.
Who is leading the NBA in points per game? Question mark. Luka Don, 33.8. Look at you go, Ryan. Joel Embiid is second with 33.6. Tatum.
5th or 6th.
Oh, maybe it's since like December. Well, no, LeBron's right here, but he's at 30.2. Like, the 3 people in front of him
He could pass him.
are.
And all 3 of those players are probably the top 3 or 4 in voting.
4 of them are the top 5, except Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's like third. He's like I think below LeBron on that list. Yeah, like he's down here. He's 1 below LeBron, but like Giannis, Tatum, and Doncic and Joel are all in the top 5, and like Jokic is averaging. Where's Jokic at? Nikola Jokic. Where the fuck's Jokic? Oh, here he is. He's averaging 25.1. And he's the odds-on favorite to win. Now, he's doing rebounds, assists, everything else. But Luka's leading everybody with 33.8. And as of late, if LeBron keeps going the way that he's fucking going, LeBron's going to average more than that. I mean, he's like on an absolute tear. Since December 30th, I think he's like 35 points a game. Something crazy. But
My point is,
yes.
the award itself for years has not been
The most
who's
valuable.
the most valuable player?
Mhm.
And if so, LeBron would have 8 or 9 MVPs.
100%. Nobody. I don't think I don't think most people disagree with
LeBron
that.
has been the most dominant, besides maybe like the first few years he was in the league. Kobe was here, prime Kobe.
R.I.P.
He's been the most dominant player in the NBA the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Has not even been close.
Yeah, dude, you're convincing the wrong person.
I
I'd maybe argue
I'm just
that Giannis for the last 2-3 years maybe might be the more dominant for what he does for his team. But like you said, to me it goes down to like it's most valuable to your team. If you take Giannis off the Bucks, the Bucks are still
I don't
good.
think we will ever see a player again like LeBron.
We won't.
We won't see a player go 20 years in the league and average a triple-double, basically.
Yeah. No, you won't.
It won't happen.
Yeah. And LeBron is the youngest player ever to average 30 points in a season, and he is now the oldest player ever to average 30 points in a season.
Yeah, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was when he scored 46. He scored 40 points. Has had a 40-point game against every single team in the league.
Yeah. Which the only other person that's done that is Kobe, but you can't count it because he obviously didn't do it against the Lakers. But he never left the Lakers, so it's kind of like a caveat. I think Kobe did that as well, but he never left the Lakers, so it's still kind of up there in that point. But it's definitely
the fact
impressive.
that when LeBron was in Miami,
Best player that's ever played.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't win MVP. Granted, Kevin Durant had that one pop-off year.
Not that year.
Was that not that year? Was he
was
Cleveland at the time?
Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is the one that broke it up.
Was it?
And he shouldn't.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I love Derrick Rose. Youngest player to ever win the MVP, and he was very good. He wasn't better than LeBron.
I was an anti-Derrick Rose guy.
Oh, why?
Yeah, you played for the Bulls, you know.
Yeah, but the Cavs sucked. It's not like they were like fighting against the Cavs.
Yeah, but back then I hated everyone, so.
Touché.
I mean, when I got I personally didn't like Derrick Rose back then because the Eastern Conference Finals and Eastern, semifinals, it was always Bulls and Heat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because the fucking Heat.
And then after that, it was like Miami and Pacers. Then I hated the Pacers for a while. When it was like Oladipo's first couple years or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just fucking destroying everybody.
Couple years with?
I think we lost one of those series too, didn't we? No.
When LeBron was on our team, we went to the
No,
finals every
they
year.
were really like close.
Yeah, we took like 6-game, 7-game series for sure. But that was Paul George more than Victor Oladipo.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paulie George.
Paul George. And Victor Oladipo played for the OKC and Orlando before he got to the Pacers. But still, yeah, very good point. But that kind of it's something to look out for. We'll obviously let you guys know.
Another thing too, one other point I was gonna make.
Yeah.
The fact that we have this conversation
Every year.
I think on this podcast, I can probably go back to last NBA season and find where you ask or you say, "Oh, LeBron's doing LeBron things again."
Yeah.
Where should he be in the voting? What do you think about the MVP? And I give the same exact answer. I'm like, the MVP award. I'll have to find that clip to see if I can put it.
I'm sure you could.
You probably could, and then it'll be like, scratch, and then it'll play this.
Just the fact that we have this conversation every year.
Yeah.
Oh, if LeBron was on a winning team, would he be number one in voting?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
No, I mean that's definitely the way. I mean the way I look at it is if you took Giannis, the way I truly look at the MVPs, if you took Luka Doncic and you put him on the Lakers, are the Lakers any better? If you put Giannis, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, pretty much anybody else on this Lakers roster, are they winning more? And it doesn't have to be just this Lakers roster. It could be if you put LeBron on the Mavericks, are the Mavericks a top 3 team? I think so. If you put LeBron on the Celtics, are the Celtics still a 1 seed? Probably.
I think the whole Lakers thing is. I mean, I know Anthony Davis is out right now.
He's coming back though.
Pretty close.
He's coming back.
Pretty close.
Of course.
And they just got Rory Hachimari. I can never pronounce his name. From the Wizzies.
Perimeter shooter kind of guy. He's a big but can shoot the.
Yeah, he can shoot the 3 ball. He's like a 40% shooter or something like that.
But I mean, you got Russ. I mean, if this was
6 man of the year right there.
I mean, yeah, but
he's having a good year. They just suck. It's that
just
simple.
the fact I looked yesterday when he scored 46 points and they lost by 20. Like
Yeah.
they got smoked. LeBron, I did the calculations.
We do
The entire team besides just LeBron shot 37% from the field.
good.
That's fucking terrible.
It's good. It's good sports.
LeBron shot 55% from the field and had 46 points.
Dude, look, hey,
Get this man a mop.
let's get this guy. I'm telling you, man, I'm right there with you, bub. I'm right there with you.
I just can't wait for Bronny to get in the league and go a whopping 2-18 if he even makes the league. And LeBron's gonna be like, I'm just glad to be here.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm just proud of.
I can't wait for Bronny to go to Ohio State and
I truly
save
think
Chris Holtman's job, but then still.
No,
suck.
I think if Bronny goes to Ohio State, I think Chris Holman's out. Actually,
You think LeBron will pull some strings? Be like, all right.
no, I don't think he'll pull some strings. I just think they'll be like, look, we got Bronny here. We've got good talent. We got to get a coach that's worth a fucking damn.
You know,
And Chris Holman's not the case.
Look,
let me say this: if LeBron gets Holtman out there, he's my MVP vote.
I appreciate that. But that's it. We're done. NBA talk over. Before we get there to our last segments, let's talk about our next sponsor, National Road Golf Course.
National Road Golf Course.
National Road Golf Course. Listen, they've got simulators.
They got them.
They got the simulators. The weather's kind of turning. It was a little warm there for a little bit.
It snowed this morning.
It snowed this morning. It actually rained this morning too.
It did.
ironically.
You remember how much it rained like a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Like the entire 2 days straight.
Yeah.
The golf course right now, we got another backup. Remember how last year there was that puddle in the pond?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a massive pond in the driving range.
Still?
And
Yeah.
the lake is overflowed all the way over to 18. Anyways.
But don't say that. This is a.
Yeah. Anyway, with all that being said, you can still come out of the simulator.
You can still come out the
We
simulators.
had people call outside to come play outside. Like, there was the day after it just rained 5 inches.
And you said yes.
And I said, no, the course is underwater. And he said, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And he said, okay. The dude calls back 3 hours later. Like, I wasn't going to give him the same answer. And
You're like,
he
wait,
goes-
is the course still flooded? No. It's
and
actually
I was like, didn't you call earlier? He was like, yeah, I just wondered if
it's gotten better.
I'm like,
No, it still hasn't.
Bro.
But because of the course being flooded, you can check out the simulators.
Check out them simulators.
They're just outside of West Jefferson, Ohio, off of Route 40. Be a friend, tell a friend, let him know. The owner's cool. He's not very tall. There's an old guy there that's a pro. He's got glasses. And there's another guy there that works on this podcast
Yes.
that also works there.
Yes.
So make sure you go check him out. Call ahead. Reserve a bay.
Reserve them, man.
Reserve that bay. Get better. Get better. Your dog shit.
Be better.
Get better. So be a friend, tell a friend. Check out our
I
friends.
actually had one of the guys from my Monday Night League has actually said that they used to do their league at one of the other places. I think it's in like Westerville or something.
Grandview.
Maybe, I don't know. It's not
Is it
it's
minor-
not,
minor
it's
format?
not, it's not minor format. But he was like, yeah, they used to be there for their league. They played 9 holes and a foursome, and then they would split off depends on how many of them show up. They play 9 holes, and then they would group up and do teams for like a scramble.
Yeah.
So they would do like skins. But they said they used to be there until like 11:30, and they would get there at 6. I'm like, how does it take that? Like they're out of here by like 9, or usually I got off by 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did it take you guys that long? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. We just played a lot quicker here. Like they'll come in this Saturday at 9 a.m. So when we open, reserve your time.
Reserve your times.
And I think they have 4 people, 2 bays reserved for 4 people. They only need 2.5 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
But he said the other places, like they would be there for like 6
Forever.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, even more of a reason to come check us out. But let's get into the next part of our segment here.